Hello and welcome to What's Next. We got Indy NXT oval action here tonight from Dover Motor Speedway in Dover, Delaware. I'm Jacob Collins coming at you live here on P1 Broadcasting with our continuing coverage of Indy NXT here in its inaugural seasons. Just getting into practice now. Have a nice solid mix of faces in this field. Some new ones to our coverage so far this season, but very familiar ones to myself and anyone else who's grinded their teeth, or I guess cut their axe, grinded their axe. We're going with the grinding of the axe. In the Indy Pro 2000 series in particular, we'll touch on that as we get into qualifying here shortly. 3,048 strength of field here tonight, a little over 3,000 here at Dover. Got ourselves two splits of 22 car top split here tonight. We will see who claims the pole in our 22 car field. And we'll hop out there with Mike Holler, who we want to highlight here tonight. He's got a classic livery for him. I don't remember exactly what's on here, but Mike Holler, the former Indy Pro 2000 community manager, we'll hop on board with him for qualifying here in his machine here. Good to see Mike out here. Had many great races with Mike throughout the Indy Pro 2000 seasons. I got to run with him and the rest of the Indy Pro drivers. Good to see him out here on the ovals in Indy NXT. Full tilt all the way around. Looks like he's trying to figure out a fifth or sixth gears faster through the corner there. Looks like they might just be hitting that rev limiter right before the corner there. We're close to it. See Israel Alba shoot to the provisional pole. Indy Kirkwood is ready for some left turns. I'm ready for some left turns too. I'm ready to see what this track's going to throw at us here tonight. Bit of a curveball, an oddball pick, generally speaking, in terms of all the ovals on iRacing is Dover. Shane Coker chiming in chat. The Conga line 60. Look, we'll see what iRacing's got on tap here tonight. I think that there's always a chance for something interesting. You know, we saw the IndyCars here a couple seasons ago with a very interesting engine package that kind of wanted to blow up in traffic. We'll see if maybe they've got another curveball here tonight in Indy NXT. Let's remain optimistic until we see the evidence. Think it'll at least be a spectacle, if nothing else. That's what we're here for. It's a nice quality racing product here on the ovals. We're going to stay here with Mike, although I'm going to get a better look at his car here, see if we can give him... Let's see. It looks like he's representing the city of Chicago, obviously, but I'm not quite sure what he's got on the side pods of this machine. Very well done livery by him. Citizens Climate Lobby. That's what he's got, at least on the engine cover there. He clocks the turn 3 wall. Just a little bit there. And we've got a good bit of people having set times already here tonight. Still a couple more left to go, including Miles Morris, who's on track now. Hop to his car. Seen Miles a good bit running, I believe, Dirt Legends, amongst other things. So we'll ride on board with him for his qualifying run. Good to see drivers making their way out to Indy NXT from all parts of the sim. No matter where you come, this feels like a very nice car for a good group of drivers from all backgrounds to kind of congregate and show us their skills on both the road courses and the ovals, as we've seen so far throughout the opening 4.5 weeks of the season. We'll consider this the tail end of the next week. Boy, they really make it hard to put that into a sentence. So we will get to a grid here shortly, as I believe... Actually, we've got cars still on track. We'll hop out with Matt Smith, if we can find his car. There it is. Let's actually get a look at what this car looks like. We'll get an outboard shot for some qualifying here. Maybe a bit tighter here. Looks like it's just a multicolored scheme here for Matt Smith. He'll turn some qualifying laps here. See where that puts him on the grid. Tight gap at the front of the field. We've got 7 cars separated by 0.09 of a second. This is a sketchy conga line. You wash up off 4, says Kirkwood. All right. Well, that'll at least be something. We'll see what people figure out. I'm sure that that'll offer up some opportunities for guys to show us their skills. Kyle Clinworth chimes in. I have no idea how to go fast in this thing. Be honest, I don't either. But that's why I'm up here. I'm letting all the fast guys show me how to do it so I can figure it out later. And we are just getting to the end of qualifying now. Get the grid up on screen. We got ourselves a new name on the pole here. Dylan M. Smoot with a 20.117 alongside Tony Pizarro, a familiar name from the IndyCar side of things. The Prodigy, Indy Kirkenbauer, will line up in the 3rd spot alongside Michael D. in car 22 of 22 here tonight in the 4th spot. Israel Alba will be 6th alongside Scotty Orm in 6th. AJ Pritchett will line up 7th alongside Crash Neon and his machine. We've got Chris Wetz, current championship points leader here in the Indy NXT Oval Series. He'll roll off 9th. Tyler McGee will roll off 10th with Miles Morris in 11th. Caleb Brashear and his Luke Mansky racing machine. I saw Luke Mansky chime into the chat, or at least somebody in charge of their social accounts chime in. He's lining up 12th in his Luke Mansky racing machine. Mike Holler, good to see him out again here tonight. He'll line up 13th alongside Matt Smith in 14th. Kyle Clinworth off victory in the IndyCar Oval Series tonight at the Legacy Kentucky Motor Speedway. That might just be Kentucky Speedway. It's real hard to remember these things. He'll roll off 15th. Tyler Villemere will roll off 16th with Andrew Waterman in 17th. Alex Krapser is the 18th car on the grid here tonight. He'll roll off without setting a time, as will the rest of these cars we'll list off now. Brandon Cruz Monsivas will be 19th, Ryan A. Brown in 20th, and then rounding out the field will be Jack Baines and Matthew Baker in the 20 car. Looks like they've got matching cars, more or less, at the back of the field here. We got Glue Guy and Glue Sniffer. Not sure what that's all about, but they're going to have some fun here tonight, as will the rest of our drivers here. Get up a scoring pylon here for everybody. More Indy Kirkenbauer fans in the chat. Let's go. I believe it should be 1 pace lap here, as it is a mile here at Dover. We will get out there as best we can. Try to capture as much of the action here as we can. These open wheelers around Dover are very, very quick, and these Indy NXT cars are no exception. We saw speeds in qualifying nearing 190 some odd miles an hour. Pace car is off. Smoot will control the field. Let's go racing here in Dover.
Green flag.
We've already got cars bouncing off each other a couple rows back there. As believe that's going to be Scotty Orm on the outside there. Still a couple cars double file through the field. Kirkenbauer moves up to 2nd.
The yellow flag is
Got a
out.
yellow already. Who's involved? I think we found him. Brandon Cruz. We'll see if we could try to find what happened here. Back this up. See if his car disappears. That's not good. Smoot, maybe? No, I have no idea. I'm assuming somebody got spun or spun in the opening stages there. Have to see if we can figure that out. Cautions here are going to be relatively short, so we'll just let this kind of slide, if you will. We might try to grab a camera a bit deeper in the field on this next one. Not a whole lot of opportunity for these drivers to start moving around. We saw them start to get single file most of the way through the field, and the restart will be single file likewise. We'll see what happens here. It's not a good sign when going under the pace car is the fastest lap of the race, but there it is, 1 minute 10:051 for Smoot. Pace car lights remain on. Couple cars have moved a good way through the field. Kyle Clenworth's up a couple spots up to 12th. Mike Holler likewise up a couple spots up to 10th. Looks like about the 10th spot on back had a bit of shuffling in the early stages of this race. Ryan A. Brown has a meatball flag in the pit lane. He may have been involved in the opening lap incident. Tyler McGee likewise is in the pits alongside Brandon Cruz, who is now 1 lap down. Not sure if he just spun or if he's in the pits repairing damage. We'll take a look briefly here. He's at the tail end of the field. Believe he'll still be on the lead lap. So just 2 cars out of the event so far. Lights are out on the pace car now. We will see if we can get this race resumed. Here from Dover. Recently, at least the art here at Dover was recently updated, I do believe. I believe the bridge further down here has been redone. Yes, there it is, the Exalta Bridge. You got corporate sponsors everywhere you look here at Dover. We'll hop back a couple cars deeper here with AJ Pritchett. Try to zoom the cameras back out here. Smoot's going to go here now in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Looks like everybody's relatively tentative here. See if we can hop in a higher up camera angle. Try to find ourselves somewhere we can see a bit more. Hop deep in the field with Chris Wetz, your points leader here in 8th. He's looking to hunt down Scotty Orm for the 7th spot. Couple cars ahead here. You've got Michael D with AJ Pritchett hot in tow.
The yellow flag is
Yellow out again. That's Clenworth involved. Big accident here. I'll have to catch something here. Suspecting a lot happened before Clenworth made impact with whatever he made impact with. We'll check it out here now. Coming off of turn 2. We'll slow this down just a little bit here. We've got Mike Holler coming down ahead of Caleb Brashear. Brashear goes up. Not sure if contact's made between those two machines. And then we've got cars all over the place. I believe Jack Baines gets a piece of this here. He'll come try to hit the low line, makes contact with Brashear's stopped car low. Not looking good for any of these machines here early. Let's hop on board with Caleb Brashear in his portion of this. See if any contacts may be made with the car ahead of him. Coming off of turn 2 here. Hop on board. I'm not quite sure if any contact was made or if Brashear was just loose. See if he comes, maybe chimes in chat and tells us what might have happened to him here tonight, but big impact for a couple cars here early. Ouch is right. Yeah, we may need to bust out the ambulance and the couple stretchers for at least one of those vehicles, or the occupant of it. So I don't know if we've gotten a full lap of green flag racing in just yet. We might have gotten one in there. Just one, though. Looks like, yeah, we may have gotten one, but it would have been partial because it's a low 20-second lap time here. We're expecting lap times to creep down into the high 19s at some point, potentially. Meatball flags for Kyle Clenworth and Caleb Brashear. They are certifiably out. Jack Baines is likewise in the pit lane now 3 laps down. Likewise, probably serving a meatball flag for, or he might be getting towed because he was stuck upside down, I believe, in turn number 3. Lights are out on the pace car. We'll see if we can go green for a couple this time. It's going to be a game of survival here seemingly tonight. Not too unlike a number of races we've seen so far this season. Honestly, between both the road and the oval series. Pace car's off. Smoot back in control of the field. He'll launch now. Kirkenbauer will be in tow.
Green, green, green.
Hop way out on the blimp here. Try to capture a bit more of the action here. We'll move back to Tony Pizarro in 4th. See if maybe we can find ourselves a battle deeper in the field. We'll hop back to Chris Wetz once again, as I believe he'll be the closest to Scotty Orm ahead of him. Make it one time around at the very least. We'll see if we can get a couple more in here. Knock on all the wood you own. "17 cars still cruising around out there. Hop back to the lead. Because Alba has made it past Kirkenbauer for 2nd. Tony Pizarro will be looking. Little bit of a bobble there for Kirkenbauer through 3 and 4. Another bobble there seemingly again on the entry to turn 1. Starting to see kind of that line form up on the bottom behind Alba here. We'll see if they could start reeling in the car ahead here in Smoot. Maybe the multiple cars here are able to start arrow pushing each other forward towards Smoot. We'll back a couple cars further here as Chris Wetz looks on the inside of Michael D. He'll make that pass for 7th. Back, I believe. Chasing down Scotty Orm back to the front of this train. We've still got Israel Alba leading it. Smoot starting to work away from the field now. Does look like there are multiple lanes at play here. Just very difficult for the high side to prevail at any point. Just particularly off the corner as we see AJ Pritchett there in the Pabst Blue Ribbon car try to work the high side. So we've gotten a couple laps under green now. We've got Smoot in the lead over Israel Alba in second. Indy Kirkenbauer runs third over Tony Pizarro. AJ Pritchett runs fifth. Scotty Orm is sixth. Chris Wetz in seventh. Michael D. eighth. Miles Morris in ninth. And Crash Neon will round out the top 10. 17 cars out, still on track of 22. We'll continue to ride with this lead group of cars here as Smoot's lead continues to be extended, now up to 0.8 of a second. Maybe hop a couple cars. We'll hop back to Pritchett to get a bit more of this line in view here. We've got pretty much everybody second all the way down to Mike Holler running 12th in this train. Scotty Orm's going to look to the high side. Chris Wetz is going to take advantage of that, stay low. That may yield a spot for Wetz if Orm has a bit of a trouble spot here. Looks to be the case heading down the back stretch, maybe. Orm is holding it tough on the outside, though. He will lose that spot. Smoot has indeed broken the draft, I think, at this stage. He's 1 second out. Like, this is a significant gap here, especially for a track like Dover to be out ahead of the field. Hop back to Crash Neon now, who runs 8th, just behind Michael D in 7th. Impressive run here for Dylan Smoot. I believe this is the first time we've seen him so far this season. He's putting on a show at the front of the field. Move it out to gaps now. Crash Neon looking on Michael D. He's going to take that spot, move him to 7th for now. Eye in the sky here from the blimp. Not a whole lot of movement near the front of this group as it starts to string out slowly, but this about 5th place on back from Pritchett, Wetz, Neon, and company. They're too wide just outside the top 10 now. Or to the tail end of the top 10 as Mike Holler moves up to 9th. Oh, there's contact. Holler. I believe Michael D got into the back of Mike Holler. D's in the wall. He comes down the track. Nobody hits him, fortunately. We'll move back to the field. I don't think this is going to bring out a yellow. Move back to Pritchett. Front of this line's getting congested back together as Pizarro is all over the back of Indy Kirkenbauer. We stay green. Everybody's opted to remain in file for now. Smoot is completely gapped the field at this point. He's almost out to a 2-second lead now. This driver's not able to make up any ground on him through that clean air that he has compared to, you would think by this point Alba might have some sort of clean air and that gap wouldn't continue to increase, but Smoot's clearly found something here this week at Dover. Credit where credit is due. So we stay here with AJ Pritchett running 5th in the Pabst Blue Ribbon machine. See Chris Wetz hop to the high side here. He's going to look, see if he can make a move on the outside line now. Caleb Brashear chimes in, yeah, I'm never doing this race again. It certainly looked like a bit of a doozy for you here tonight. Here, Caleb. Shame to see you crash out early. Always want to have everybody who competes able to compete the distance at the very least. But this is looking like quite the treacherous endeavor here at Dover Motor Speedway. So we make it just past halfway now. 30 to go here in this event. Holler, a bit of a bobble in 1 and 2 there. He's got Chris Wetz to his outside. We'll back to that battle, as that seems to be the most lively thing we've got going on right now. Wetz still on the outside of Holler. Holler bobbles again. Wetz will hop back into line here. Front of this is congested still, as we see Kirkenbauer nested between Pizarro and Alba. I haven't given up hope on the ovals, Ty. I think that we still have yet to see a good portion of the tracks where this car will likely thrive. You know, we've got Nashville Superspeedway next week. Yeah, Luke Bansky chimes in. Better track suited for it, absolutely. And that's kind of the goal for the schedule for next season that was voted on by the community. We kind of took out as many of the 1.5s as made sense. We're going to run Motegi. Pocono will be the other larger track on the oval schedule next season. We'll see how that goes. You know, we'll have a number of kind of new options for the... Ooh, contact. Pizarro's up the track. Not sure if that was a combination of fishtails, but that'll shoot Pizarro down the order. He'll settle back in 8th. But yeah, I'm optimistic. We have a good stretch this season still yet to come. We've got Nashville next week, I believe. North Wilkesboro will be the week following that. Gateway is still yet to come this season. Kirkenbauer still looking on Alba here for the second spot. We'll see if he can do anything here. Smoot's now out to a 4-second lead. This is unheard of. Shout out to Dylan Smoot. He is gone. Pizarro's fighting with Wetz and Matt Smith here for the 6th spot. We will have to give Smoot his due in spades tonight. He has clearly found something that nobody else in this field has found. Let's actually ride on board with Smoot for a couple laps. Paul Lascori, Kyle Clenworth's mom chiming in the chat. I'm glad to have this on the air. We'll ride on board with Dylan Smoot here. Let's see what he's doing. He's running the full distance around this track, all the way to the high side, all the way low. Full pin in 6th gear. He is not looking back for a second here tonight. He's got almost 5 seconds clear on the field now. We're going to watch one more here with Smoot just to give him the credit he deserves here. Putting an absolute metric spanking on the field. As you can see, there's lap cars off in the distance. He might reach them. We'll hop back to the battle deeper in the field here. So we'll hop back to Matt Smith under fire from Pizarro on the outside. Smith into Pizarro. Pizarro's in the wall. Big crash. That's Miles Morris involved, I believe. No, that's Tyler DeVimil. Or wait. Who did we get in there? Somebody made contact with Pizarro. I believe that, yeah, that's Miles Morris in the number 11 machine. Believe he may only have front end damage. We will see. We can find a way to see that. Oh no, he's missing both wings on the number 11 machine. That is likely night done for him. He'll pull it off into the pit lane now. And that was just a consequence of cars making contact up ahead in the field and Morris with nowhere to go. Pizarro getting the brunt of it here tonight. That's the second time he had started flying towards that outside wall, making contact, and then unfortunately this time not making it safely back into the field. So that'll cut Smoot's lead down to nothing. We saw it nearly at 5 seconds, 5 some odd seconds there before the yellow. See how far he can stretch his legs back out here on a restart. We'll stay high in the sky here. Believe this will leave 14 cars out on track, down to Andrew Waterman in 14th. Believe Morris is still circulating, or at least trying to. I believe the lights are still on the pace car. We'll try to zoom a bit further here to get a better view of that. Car lights are out on the pace car, so we will stay back on our blimp camera. So that seems to give us the cleanest view of the action here tonight. Well, what a race so far from Dylan Smoot. Out to a 5-second lead in the opening stage of this race once it got going. Hop back a little deeper in the field, as we know Smoot's likely to launch a good bit ahead. We'll hop back to championship points leader Chris Wetz, who runs 5th now. Number of cars came down the pit lane that time. Crash Neon in 11th is the first one on new tires. That'll be everyone, including Mike Holler, down in 14th. So that's, I believe, 5 cars on new tires. 4 cars. 4 cars on new tires. So we'll see if that makes any sort of noticeable difference as we come down to the wire here. We're off.
Green flag, green flag.
Back up to Indy Kirkbauer, who runs 3rd. Alba's smooth away. 0.3 of a second back of Smoot already. We'll see. This is the first time that Smoot may be under challenge here tonight. We'll hop to him. Alba is chasing him down.
Caution, yellow flag.
Yellow's out. Andrew Waterman's involved. We'll see what happened to him. Real quickly here. Ooh. Let's see. So we're back a ways now. Coming off of turn 2. Get a bit closer here. See if we can. Ooh. So we've got him working the low side heading into turns 3 and 4. He gets loose, and Mike Holler's got nowhere to go, runs into him, up into the wall. Miles Morris is probably just looking for stay out of this, and that'll be likely night over for Waterman and potentially Holler as well. We shall see. We'll follow Holler as he works his way around. No meatball flag for Holler, seemingly, so it may just be a front wing change for him. Not sure how long that takes. It's a whole front nose cone, I think, for him. Follow him as he comes into the pit lane here. He pulls into the pit lane. See if he has to serve anything. Oh, that looks like a good bit more damage. He may be down here a while. We'll see. He might just try to take as much as he can and get back out there. Hop back to Smoot. And it looked like that Israel Alba had something for Smoot here. We'll see if this next restart he can mount a charge. It looked like it was coming. It just was going to take a lap or two. So I believe the lights will come out on the pace car this time. That will be the case. So we'll be back in the blimp once again. Watch a restart here with 10 to go here in our 60-lap Indy NXT Oval Series event. If you've enjoyed our coverage here tonight, we have a GoFundMe link in the stream description if you'd like to donate monetarily to the channel and support what we do. We do these broadcasts on behalf of the community, so if you have the means to do so and would like to do so, certainly do so. Also could hit us with a super chat here on YouTube. And we will get a restart here once again tonight with 10 laps to go. I suppose it'll be 9 to go once we get to the line. Smoot up to the wall. He's not wanting to get anybody to his outside. Smoot's gonna launch probably right about here. He goes. Alba gets a decent getaway. Kirkenbauer likewise, solid getaway for him. We'll see if they have anything for Smoot here tonight.
Caution.
We got a car around. It's Crapser upside down. Already? That seems awfully quick for a rollover crash. We'll see what happened to Crapser here. So we've got a car in the wall ahead here. Crapser hits Neon and the 9 machine of Brandon Cruz. Mike Holler makes it unscathed. That's a little odd. I kind of want to watch this one back again. What happened here? We'll have to hop on board with maybe the 9 machine. Figure out what happened here. Let's see. 9 machine of Brandon Cruz. We'll watch this at speed here. He gets the jump on, I believe that's going to be Jack Baines on the inside. And he's in the wall. He must have just got stuck on the wall. Crash Neon didn't want to get a black flag for passing on the inside, but did anyway. Big mess on the restart here. Big mess. Well, that'll give us a restart with likely 7 or 6 laps left in this event. You know what? I will say that generally speaking, this has looked better than I thought it would. And I think that that has to be commended in some capacity. This could be worse. Yeah, sketchy conga line indeed. That's what we're on offer here at Dover. Will likely be a one-time appearance from Dover, unless the community really wants to see it again, because, you know, if the community asks, we listen here in the Road to Indy. We'll do a quick run through the rest of the Indy NXT Oval Series schedule here real quick. So we'll have Nashville Superspeedway next week. North Wilkesboro will be week number 7. Gateway will be week 9. We'll take on Atlanta Superspeedway, or Echo Park Speedway as it's now known, during the 9th week of the season. Week 10 will take us to the Legacy Phoenix Raceway. Week 11 will be at Kansas Speedway. And week number 12 will take us as our season finale for the inaugural season in the Indy NXT Oval Series at Homestead, Miami. We are in luck. I believe Milwaukee will be on the schedule next season. I don't recall what week off the top of my head, but it should be in there. I do remember it was a very popular one in the voting in that group of tracks for the next season. I believe the lights are out on the pace car. We'll see it pull down here, coming to 5 to go here left in this event. Let's try to see if we can wrap this one out under green here. Pace car pulls off now. Field of control of Dylan Smoot. He'll launch. Big launch for him this time around. Kirkenbauer going to look high here on Alba. They're going to contract here. We'll hop back towards the dominant part of the field now as Smoot pulls away. See if Alba can start closing back in. Slow progress, but it's possible they make it to Smoot. The real question is what do they do if they get there? Smoot been the dominant car here all night, started on the pole, led every lap so far. Tyler Villemare with the fastest lap with a 19.822 late here in the running. Kirkbauer is going to look high again. Pritchett's just about there. Wets. Contact. Netcode into the wall. We'll move him down to 8th, I believe. I think this is going to be all Dylan Smoot here tonight. We'll watch the battle for second here as we come to the white flag. Rolling off into turns 1 and 2. Yeah, Smoot's the only one that opted to roll high down. I'm wondering if that's letting him carry more corner speed than everybody else. But I imagine everybody behind him's trying to just defend behind them as we see everybody come across the line here. We'll run through your finishing order here from Dover. As everybody, I believe, has crossed the line. We'll watch Smoot roll around here. So, Dylan Smoot, your winner here tonight from Dover. Israel Alba will finish second ahead of Indy Kirkebauer, the prodigy, in third. A.J. Pritchett will finish fourth in his Pabst Blue Ribbon machine. Matt Smith will finish fifth. Scotty Orm will be sixth. Tyler Villemare, with the fastest lap of the race, I believe, will finish seventh. Mike Holler in eighth. Good to see him get a solid top 10 here run tonight, despite some difficulties through the midway portion of this race. Matthew Baker will finish ninth. Chris Wetz will be 10th. Brandon Cruz Monsavitz will be 11th, the last car on the lead lap. Miles Morris will be 12th, 1 lap down. Crash Neon will wind up 13th, 8 laps down, with Alex Krapser, Andrew Waterman, Jack Baines, Tony Pizarro, Michael D., Kyle Clenworth, Caleb Brashear, Tyler McGee, and Ryan Brown all facing some sort of trouble here at the Dover Motor Speedway. See if we can get Indy Kirkenbauer's car up on the screen for the interview room. And this is a horse racing track, right? All right. Get Indy on the screen here. Another podium finish for Mr. Kirkenbauer. See if he chimes on in here. Oh. So we got Indy there. Give a quick bit of TV time to Israel Alba, who finishes second here tonight. And then your winner, Dylan Smoot, with a dominant performance from the pole, leading all 60 laps, winning tonight's event. I believe we've got Indy now. See what the Vote of Racing driver has to say. Indy Kirkenbauer, Jacob Collins, P1 Broadcasting. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
Well, you hung on to a podium finish here in quite a tumultuous race throughout the running here. A lot of carnage throughout. Kind of talk us through what you were able to do out there to keep your car up near the front of the field.
Didn't leave the bottom lane. I mean, that was pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, you could get washed up a little bit there. I mean, the leader was very good on the restarts, and he would get out and hold the preferred line because it was still slightly faster to run the top of the straightaway. You got a lot less wheel spin. But the guy in front of me, he was trying to defend against me, so it was tough because he would just keep getting away from us through the draft, and we could never really get him. I tried a couple times, like, laid off his bumper on the restarts, like, go take his draft because I want you to get up there because that gives me a chance of winning too. Yeah, but it was an okay race. Yeah, I'm happy with another podium. I mean, it was just you really couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a struggle to kind of pass through the field. We saw a number of cars deeper in the field try to work the high side to make moves, but it only seemed to result in cars on the inside able to pull the draft of the car ahead and just swoop on by. So not a ton of options there in terms of making up ground. It was interesting to see with Smoot running that outside lane. He was the only one that seemed to wanted to wrap the wall, come down, and I think everybody else was kind of stuck running the low lane, trying to defend from the cars behind. Do you feel like that there's maybe a potential for a track like this to play out a little differently if maybe the drafts gets tweaked or something to that effect?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I usually hate dirty air, but if there's a little bit more dirty air and then higher draft on the straight, I mean, the fact that 2nd through 10th was a Congo line and then first place could get away is very weird. I don't think that's ever happened to me in a week where first place was able to get, I mean, he was like 5 seconds out at one point, but then 2nd to 10th is hold the bottom. So, I mean, if you got more draft in it, then for sure, but I think if you added more draft, it wouldn't be that realistic. I mean, if you watch real life Indy NXT oval races, I mean, they're usually not that great. The Nashville one this year was good, but I mean, Milwaukee pole sitter wins the race. I mean, that's just kind of how they are in real life, and I guess it is pretty realistic on here.
We can only do so much to alter reality, and that seems to be the case here for the Indy NXT car on iRacing. But all things considered, there's still a good bit of potential for other tracks to kind of pan out. We'll see maybe if we get to a Milwaukee, say, next season. That might turn out to be a pretty good race throughout the field, as there's likely going to be multiple lanes in play there. So good to see you on the podium here again, Indy. If you've got any friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to shout out, floor is yours.
Yeah, my go-kart sponsors are Fremont Functional Fitness, BG Emery and Associates, Valley and Clyde, and Make Something on YouTube.
Alrighty, Indy. Good to see you here on the podium again. We'll catch you next week from, I believe, Nashville Superspeedway. So hopefully that'll put on a good show for us on some more concrete.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be good. I mean, as I said, the Indy NXT race in real life there was pretty good. So hopefully my paint scheme, Miles Rowe won that. So hopefully my paint scheme can give me some sort of luck.
There we go. Put the Miles Rowe scheme back in victory lane at Nashville in the virtual sense. Well, good to have you out here, Indy. You keep going fast, having fun. Have a good night.
Yeah, I'll keep turning left.
And keep turning left he will. We'll put the other top 2 finishers back on the screen here real quick with Israel Alba finishing second here tonight. Very nice looking scheme on his car. And then Dylan Smoot, the man, the myth, the legend, in that all black, or it might be even gray. Hard to tell. He's got quite an interesting color on that thing. But he will win here from Dover. Thanks for tuning into the coverage here tonight. We will be back for Indy NXT Pro Series qualifying Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be from Long Beach. Be second split. So tune into that. And to everybody who makes this possible for us, we want to thank you, all the difficult jobs that are out there. We know how tough they are, so we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.